What's going on, everybody? It's Matt one with the Gilliard. How everybody doing out there? Our topic for today, where you can see, think of in the caption, we are going to be talking about spouse with low self-esteem. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna
Well,
let you kind of start them off, and I'll
well,
feed off of you.
as far as like what?
About the topic.
Well, you are the spouse that
Yeah.
have the low self. You are the person. How would I say that?
Huh?
You're the one. Like you're the person
Oh, have to oh,
deal
I
with
got
it.
you.
Yeah.
Um, well, I guess on our level, just dealing with us, certain things that have happened in my wife's life where um well, I guess everybody kind of deal with low self esteem in some kind of way, low self esteem. Sometimes it's different things. I guess with my wife, I try my best to help her in areas like, just for instance, those that are friends with us on Facebook and stuff. You see that um, my wife was baking cakes and stuff like that. She is very good with her hands, with cooking and stuff like that. But always been kind of scared to step out. Um, and all that deal with, I guess, with a little insecurity, but feel like you don't want to be rejected or disappointed. So you kind of, push yourself, you kind of just step back and don't really push yourself to do anything. And I think that's when the spouse have to come in and kind of, help be that support of that spouse. Um, I guess it don't really affect, well, I can't say it. The way that it affects me is that it affects her. So I just, as a husband, you be there to esteem your wife. You push her and show that she's great. And as she has stepped out now, she's getting a bunch of orders and stuff like that. Um, so it's, I guess from the person who has a lower self esteem spouse, you just, you be there and you support, which is different cases of low self esteem um that people may deal with. Sometimes it's low self esteem where um they may feel like they don't look good, or they're heavy, or they're too skinny, or they're too big, they're too short. You know what I mean? So much things. And I just think as the spouse, you bring that security to them to let them know that um you have what I want. You know what I mean? So you really don't have to work around with, which, like I said earlier, you have a lot of people that deals with it in some type of way of low self esteem. But in as far as in the marriage, you just be there to lift them up. So
hmm What
go ahead.
on my part as being the person with the low self esteem, it's it has always been there, and certain things, the way I carry myself, some people would never, but it just certain things I'm just like, okay, I don't know if I'm too good for that. And that just come from different things in the background of growing up. So a lot of people have told me about, as far as cooking or anything with my hands, that I'm very gifted in that. But I've never believed them or whatever else like that because of the low self esteem. I think just a few years ago, in my 30s, I just got rid of some of it. I'm not gonna say I'm completely rid of low self esteem, but I've gotten rid of some of it. It's not as bad as it used to be. And I'm 35, so probably earlier 30s, 31, 32, that I've just kind of got rid of the, being comfortable of being who I am. What, you can't see? You want to use your phone? Sorry. You want to use your phone to see your comments and stuff?
Oh shoot, I forgot already.
So, um, sorry. So that right there, as far as low self esteem, like I could have been did what I'm doing now. People have always said it. Like I could just think of something and I'll try it and it'll be good or whatever. But because of the background of having low self esteem or whatever, and then I just always felt like just because they know you, I felt like, oh, they just gonna say it or whatever else like that. So it's like my family, people who I'm close to or whatever. I just felt like, oh, they're just saying that because they don't want to hurt my feelings. And that was one of the things. Like I'm a person who thinks all the time. I'm a thinker. And so I could feel good in the moment. Like, oh, for real, you like that? But then I'll be like, they just saying that because. Like they're just saying that because they know me. Um, as what else? And like he said, body image. Like I've always struggled with my body things like that, and he's always encouraged me. Like I know I shouldn't, like I don't want to look good for nobody else, but it's me, and like I just want to have certain, like I just want to look a certain way. And because I had 3 C-sections, like my, I don't like my stomach area, so that's one of the beginning of our marriages. Like when it came down to intimacy, I would like wear a t-shirt because I wasn't comfortable with my body. Even though we've been together for years, say how crazy that is. Hmm. But that's what it that's what it was. So now that I'm stepping out, I see what everybody else kind of see, because it takes you a minute when you have that low self-esteem to kind of kind of think, I could do it. I got it. I got it. And then you have to be patient with your spouse. If you're dealing with a spouse that do have low self esteem, you have to be patient with them. And he plenty of times he's pushed me and doing it for years, but I just was like, if you doing a watch party, it's not you're not gonna see the comments on this. But plenty of times he has pushed me and said things, but I just was like, no, no, I don't think so. Plenty of people have said it. No, my grandmother said it. Everybody like, and it's hard when you have that type of mentality. And I don't know how easy was it was for him to have to deal with it. How being that I did, I was like basically procrastinating.
Um, knowing how you is, so I'll just be kind of like you push a little, then you may have to back up a little bit, just dealing with the personality, but you push and you keep encouraging until they feel like, what I mean, okay, I got this.
Yeah. Because as I've always said before, as like I've if you just like he said, if you're friends with us on Facebook and I put up my status about the low self esteem, like I've it's something to have to deal with for a long time, and to really get that confidence in me in myself right now is something that's pretty good. And I could I tell you, like I've been shocked or whatever else like that. And even with me doing this and how much orders and everything that I'm getting with the cakes, I'm still self-conscious about it. I'm just like, I don't know if this is gonna be good. I don't know. I always ask like, how did you like it? So it's still a work in progress in that area, because that is like what some sort of a perfectionist in a way.
Yeah.
Is yeah, it's like being a perfectionist in a way because I want to make sure that everything is right.
Mm.
So it's still a little doubt that have it still having a little self doubt in that area. Um, what else?
I guess with it has been years. I got, but camera. I just say, um, uh, um, but in the beginning of our relationship, her having kind of like low self esteem, it was different. I've seen with a growth at in her self esteem because like um or we
Saying again.
I'm
I think
sorry,
I've been saying a lot too.
yeah. In the beginning of our relationship, got in arguments and stuff because uh she, she was, I guess, kind of like pushing me away because she didn't feel like she I would say deserve
Please
me. I'm
stop
sorry.
saying
I I don't say I'm not saying like she didn't deserve me or something, but she felt like um why I don't know how to explain it, what I'm trying to say. But anyway, so it was more so like
I gotta sit up.
feeling
My
like
back hurt.
could a male love me like this? So she kind of pushed me away a lot, or tried to push me away, and because of her self esteem, and and a lot of times when you deal with low self esteem, sometimes you do push the person away when they're trying to get close to you and stuff, and sometimes you're not used to that, so you kind of shun it away because we as people a lot of we don't cling to new things, so we try our best to try to keep things out of the norm away from us because what I'm saying,
Yeah.
it's when it's different. A lot of times we don't want to deal with it, so I had to deal with a lot of times with that with the
Being
low self esteem and me myself. Like I'm a people's person, outgoing, be around a lot of people, have
and I'm not.
a lot of friends and stuff like that. And I had a lot of female friends, so a lot of times that played with her self esteem also. Um, with me just me and my personality or whatever. Um, a lot of females cling to me, so a lot of times it it made her probably feel like what I mean, I was doing something or whatever. So all that kind of plays in a relationship when when you're dealing with a spouse with low self esteem, but you just got to come together and work it.
Yeah. Really, I'm trying not to say too because I'm saying it a lot now. Really, what let's I'm gonna just because I was trying to not get into the part of why I have low self esteem because of family members, but then this could help other people. And like right now, I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna just say what I got to say. If they feel some type of way, they feel some type of way, or whatever. But my low self esteem came because my father wasn't there. And so when you dealing with a person or a man who's willing to take care of, like, they show you a different type of love. And because like I've told y'all before, if y'all ever heard how I got attracted to him, this I think this was like either our first um video. I think it
One of
was
the
like our
videos.
first video or something like that, and we were talking about not being attracted to your spouse at first. But what attracted me to you was like your friendship and everything. So as like growing up, yes, I was a really promiscuous and everything else like that because you're searching for a certain thing because you're looking for that male figure when that person is not there. So when you actually kind of get somebody to love you the way that you've been kind of searching for, and you still have low self, but you dealing with low self esteem at the same time, it's like it's very hard to open or you're looking for them to leave. You're looking for them to kind of get away or anything else, like go away. Because the person who's first supposed to love you at first wasn't there. So that's esteem came from with that and just other little things. But that was the major part of my low self esteem or whatever. Because you think about, well, the person who's supposed to love me was not here. The first person who's supposed wasn't there. They didn't do their part or whatever else like that. So when you actually do get that type of love that you've been searching for, it's like, okay, I don't like, you're not used to it, so I used to push him away. I wasn't used to it, so I would try to push him away. But with that, and that was where that came from, where most of my thing came from. Because some fathers have to know, parents have to know that you are your kid's first love. It don't matter if the mother, because it's not always the men that step out. There's some mothers that leave too. So you have to know that you're causing some type of damage to your kids when you're not there actively, or you feel, or you chose something over your children. So that played a major part on me. And it played a major part our in our relationship with that, because I will push away because of that, and just having this image of how I need to look or whatever else like that, because it makes you feel like you're not perfect. You're not, what, something was wrong because that person wasn't there. So that's what it was like. Why? What was it that made you, the person, not want to be here for me and not want me? So that's where the low self. If y'all see me cry, or if y'all hear my voice changing, it's still a touchy subject for me, because I still have to deal with it even at 35 years old. I'm just being open and honest, with y'all, being very transparent in this, as far as this goes, as far as being low, having low self-esteem, because you never know. A lot of people probably deal with that, and you probably asking like, well, why my spouse won't allow me to do certain things, especially if you're just getting married. Like, why my spouse won't allow me to get close to them or whatever else like that. They're not used to that, not used to that type of love. And that's why they're doing what they're to that. They're not, because especially if the parent is absent, or either it's the way that they grew up, where they're not used to a certain type of love. They're not used to that clinginess. So you're going to get that pushback. You're going to get that, like, that resistance. So you just have to be patient in that. Don't give up on them, and don't just be like, "Oh, I'll just quit" or whatever. You can't do that, because they're used to things like that. They're used to somebody just dipping out on them. And the people who are like that are the what, the lovable. Once you are, when, if they allow you to get there, man, you it's something, like, you really deserve that spot.
Um, just on a like, I don't know, but those that are out there that uh, that's married. No, I'm sorry. That's single, engaged, or single and looking for a relationship to get real serious or whatever, and you may dealing with low self esteem. One thing a few years ago that I heard a comedian say, but it makes a lot of sense. It's called self-esteem. So you have to esteem yourself. So even in the process of, if you're already married, or if you're single, or you're engaged and you're about to get married, whatever the case may be, and you're dealing with low self-esteem, esteem yourself. Start speaking things in life. If you feel like um, I'm not beautiful, start telling yourself I'm beautiful, or you feel whatever the case. Speak self. You know what I mean? Speak positive things that will help build your self esteem in life, because you know a lot of times you when you deal with low self esteem, it's I guess it's a tough thing, you know what I mean, to deal with. So you know, esteeming yourself kind of helps rushing the when you're dealing with that, especially when you're coming into a relationship. So just remember that, you know, it's called self-esteem. So esteem yourself, and then, you know, as being that spouse that you may have to deal with, a husband or wife that has low self-esteem. As you being their partner, as y'all being one, you have to be there to help lift them up, help esteem them, that they will no longer, you know, think low of themselves, but they'll begin to boost themselves up. Because I think like a lot of people deal with low type of way. Um, so some people, you know, get over it quicker than other people. Some people hold on it to it for a long time, but um, I know why in some places where you can deal with low self esteem, and sometimes people have it and, you know, be are able to go on like they don't.
Yeah, it's like
uh
a facade.
yeah, so they kind of like brush it under the dealing with it with low self.
I understand what you're saying, but that's easier said than looking in the mirror. You're kind of you see all the negative.
Mm.
Like the negative is very is more prominent than the positive. You could say, oh, say this, say that, or whatever else like that. But then you like some days you will be able to say it. There's some just like the negative is just there. It is boom. Everything for that day is just bad. Like you just bad. And that's where the spouse steps in. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm having a bad day of body image, or if I'm having a it's like I don't feel like I could do this or whatever else like that, spouse steps in and say, "You got this." That spouse is so much needed.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it may not. It don't have to be something I have to tell you, but if you know your spouse, then you would know to say, "Okay, they're me." Say something and kind of boost them up. Mm. Because it's when you're dealing with it time, but if you're the person who dealt with it and it's something that's been in you since growing up, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just like as I said, like it's been not until I was about 32 till I've stopped looking at myself and kind of was have that is type of that's when it kind of was like that. Like you've always and I and you know I've asked you plenty of times. I've always said, "Well, why you didn't tell me this? Why you didn't say, well, like, why you didn't tell me like I was getting bigger, like gaining weight after having kids back to back?" Because when you have a C-section, it's very hard to kind of get rid of because they don't have that with the tummy thing that most people have when they have vaginal. It's hard to do that. So I was like, "Why you didn't tell me I was gaining weight and everything else like that?" And you would never you were like, well, I basically it's like you didn't see it, but it's like, well, you should have told me or whatever.
That's another subject. Because men, we
I don't care.
Yeah, but
I've always told you that.
Yeah, but you know, men, we some things we know that's one of them no nos
I
you
don't
don't
care.
say.
But that's like that's where the spouse is because I've tried as far as be like, okay, you're beautiful today, you're beautiful, but then I look and I see, okay, you got these spots on your face. That's not cute. Then then I'll turn around and I'll be like, girl, look at how you look in this. Like I could feel cute, but then I'd be like, this don't, I don't like how this look on me because of my body. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is that's where the spouse says really has to come and step up in that area.
Well, anybody got any comments on that? I saw daily affirmation is great. Um, that's my cousin. That is so true. You know what I mean? Um, you just got, I guess, like how my wife's saying. I mean, on this topic, I'm the spouse that has to deal with it because I guess with me, like if I feel like I'm um doing, I guess it's just different because I just I don't know. I maybe been uh I guess the way my mindset, like when I've been younger, deal with that with low self esteem or whatever. But as I got older, I've been like, and it may be different for males and females when it comes to that. But I'll be like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? With stuff with me, if my nose look big, it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's just it. I don't know. So it's kind of different. Um, so I, you know what I mean? I try my best to understand where she's coming from and just be that support um for her. And that's you know about that's the greatest thing that we can do if we're dealing with a spouse
With
that's dealing with low
self-esteem.
self-esteem or whatever. And you just, you know, you keep them boost up. You know what I mean? You keep encouraging them. You keep telling them positive things um, when dealing with that. Because you know, uh, a lot of times when people have low self esteem, it can turn into depression and stuff like that, and then you start, you know, suicide thoughts and all kind of stuff may can so as a spouse, you know, you continue to boost your spouse up when you know that they're dealing with low self esteem, and
Yeah.
don't be the add more
Yeah.
no add more flames to the fire. You know what I
Don't
mean?
be sitting there. Like he's jokey, but he's never said anything to me out the way as far as like any the way I look or anything. He's really jokey or whatever. So sometimes I don't know if he was serious or not, but
Well, I said so.
no,
Oh, I
no,
said,
no, not
oh.
that I could think of that something that hurt me. I'm like, okay, why did you say that? No, but as you said, but as far as like the depression state and everything, I dealt with that in the beginning of our marriage. I used to get really depressed about it because it was like what, especially when I was dealing with my when I had natural hair, I dealt with that. So it gets that deep as far as depression and suicidal thoughts and stuff. It gets that deep. That's something that I could do on my own and talk about that as far as low self esteem, but we talk about as far as spouse and everything. But it helps.
But even um, if you're in relationship and not married, you know what I mean. Even if you're wanting to date somebody, you're dealing with low self esteem. This can saying so.
But
I guess
that's
that
something more on an
it's
individual thing,
vicious.
I think.
Yeah, but yeah. So if you're dealing, you know what I mean, and you're married, you know, let your spouse know. You know, sometimes the spouse don't know. So, you know what I mean? You sit down, you have that talk like, hey, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that, whatever. And as that spouse, you know, just make sure you encourage them and not put them down or make them feel worse than they're already feeling. So just, you know, you continue to encourage them, push them, and make them feel great about themselves.
Yep.
And kind of keep telling them the good qualities, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So
Because
you
it's
keep it positive. Yeah.
so it don't look like we have that. You have
No,
anything else to say about
no.
it?
We
All
got
right.
people watching, but nobody. Anybody have any questions or comments that they want to say about this subject? If not,
We're gonna kind of
end
end
it.
this. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, we our previous video. People like. I mean, people subscribing to
Already.
our YouTube page and sharing it. We've been looking, and it's like I think more people that subscribe to our YouTube page, but nobody shared yet. So um, we're gonna still uh, put it out there to let you know if you share our YouTube, if you subscribe to our YouTube page and you share our YouTube page, we're gonna do a $150 giveaway. But listen, you have to subscribe and you have to share. We have people that subscribing, but you're not sharing. So make sure that you share it. And I'm gonna push the drawing back a little bit. So
Okay.
it's actually supposed to be next week.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait 2 more weeks so that I give more people a chance to
Hey, Lita.
subscribe and hey, sis, to subscribe and share our page. If you just subscribe and you don't share, your name will not be in the drawing. So you have to do both: subscribe. I talk funny and share our YouTube page, and it's Marriage 101 with the Gilliards. And we got some other stuff on there. Besides our talks about marriage, we got some funny videos and stuff on there. So um, do that and stay tuned. We're gonna kind of we're not gonna do it every Monday because it looked like we ain't been doing it because we're getting kind of busy with my wife doing things and I'm doing things. So we're gonna do it every other Monday. So those that look at our page and be viewing our lives, we're gonna do it every other Monday from now on. So like again, like I said, I'm gonna repeat it one more time because sometimes people seem like they don't get it. Some people I just mean like that, but you have to subscribe to our YouTube page. You have to share our YouTube page in order for your name to be in the drawing. We thank y'all for tuning in. Continue to share what we're doing. Continue to encourage us as we continue to encourage y'all. Y'all pray for us. We pray for y'all. And we out.
Bye
Peace.
bye.